Before we get into today's Chiefs mailbag, I just want to give you a few reasons why you should subscribe to the channel. I got 5 reasons here, producer Trey, so we got to go through them here on the Chiefs Report. Number 1, training camp updates pretty much every day, everything happening out at St. Joseph. We're going to have you covered here faster than anyone else. Also, the latest news and rumors in general, whether it's from training camp, away from camp, whatever it is, we're going to have you covered. If there's crazy trade rumors out there, we'll bring you those as well. Weekly live shows here on YouTube and over on Rumble. Also, every Monday, 3 o'clock Central Time, if there's major breaking news, we'll go live for those situations as well. And audience interaction with our weekly mailbags, Q&As, and other ways we interact with you guys with our questions that we present to you on the show, the shout-outs we give. No one's doing what we're doing here at the Chiefs Report. So subscribe to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button, and we're going to continue to keep you guys in the loop here on the Chiefs Report. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into your mailbag questions. Today's Chiefs mailbag is sponsored by Mint Mobile. Lower your cell phone wireless provider today with plans starting at just $15 per month. All you got to do is go to mintmobile.com/chatsports. That link is in the comments and in the description of this video. Boomer Miller, I want Robert Quinn on the Chiefs, he says. Listen, I would take Robert Quinn. Now, the latest out of Chicago is that he doesn't want to get traded. Bears don't want to trade him. So we'll see. I could see him being a midseason trade acquisition for a team if the Bears aren't in contention, where there's a decent chance they won't be, that they could flip him at the deadline for some draft capital. So keep an eye on that. I don't think it'll happen before week 1, but I think Robert Quinn would be a nice addition to this pass rush. Chris Vogues, should they look into trading for Miles Sanders? I mean, it depends what you're giving up. I like Miles Sanders, but I'm not giving up more than a 5th-round pick for a running back unless they're special. And he's not special. He's good, but he's not special. So probably not. I mean, you got plenty of backs. You got Clyde, Rojo, Pacheco now, Jarrett McKinnon, Derek Gore. I mean, you got 4 or 5 backs that are at least decent rotation backs. Plus, Miles Sanders had 0 touchdowns last year. I actually forgot about that stat. Shout out producer Trace, less than 800 yards. So, sure, a late round pick, but even then, you got plenty of backs in the rotation. Almighty Goat, who should I draft tonight first? Travis Kelce or Patrick Mahomes? Fantasy football. Okay. Probably Kelce. If you get Kelce on your fantasy team, you pretty much win the tight end position every week, and that's a huge advantage. Mahomes obviously is a good fantasy quarterback, but the difference between QB1 and like QB10 in fantasy isn't that great unless you're in a specific league where quarterbacks are on an inflated scale. So I would say Kelce unless the scoring favors quarterbacks in your league. Mahomie says, rank the Chiefs' top 4 wide receivers based on training camp so far. I would say up to this point, I would rank them as follows. I would go Juju number 1. Him and Sky Moore have been close, but I'll favor the veteran. He's made some acrobatic plays. Sky Moore, I'd put him 2. Now, this is not necessarily saying wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, yada, yada, yada. I'm saying based on performance so far, and all 4 of these guys have made plays. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who had a great OTAs and minicamp period, he's been good, not as good as he was during those practices, though. And then McCole Hardman 4. Not because he hasn't made plays, just because these other guys have made more. So I would rank them like that. I think all 4 have a chance to have an impact here in 2022. Who's going to have the most yards out of these 4 this year? Type 1, if you think it's Juju Smith-Schuster. Type 2, if you think it'll be Sky Moore. Type 3, if you're going with MVS. Or Type 4, if it's McCole Hardman. I will lean on Juju here. I think he's got the best chance to be a 1,000-yard guy. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Josh and Alyssa Martinson, why didn't the Chiefs not try to get DK during free agency? Well, he wasn't a free agent. He was under contract. You could say, why didn't they trade for him? I honestly don't think he was available. Maybe if you traded 2 first-round picks to Seattle, you could have gotten him, but I don't think Kansas City wanted to do that. They only wanted to pay Tyreek Hill $24-25 million, and that's what DK Metcalf got. So they probably didn't want to commit to that money either. So, yeah, I mean, I think those are a couple of reasons why. Chris Vogues, they should get Deshaun Jackson. Um, I don't know how much D-Jack has left in the tank, and I think he's wide receiver 5 at best if you bring him in here. So I actually don't have a ton of interest in Deshaun Jackson. He's had a great career. He obviously has the connection to Andy Reid, and I think stylistically he actually fits with Patrick Mahomes. But I just think at his advanced age, 36, whatever he is, that I don't think it's going to happen. Sam Bank, is Clyde Edwards-Helaire ready to be the number 1 running back? If he's not, then he won't be, because the Chiefs have other options. They brought back Jerick McKinnon. They signed Ronald Jones. This Isaiah Pacheco kid continues to draw hype in training camp. So it's, I don't want to say it's now or never for Clyde, but to be this team's number 1 back, yeah, it's kind of now or never for him, I would say. Kevin, do you think Mahomes creates another dynamic duo with Juju or Sky? I think in general they're going to spread the ball out more, but I do think those are the two guys that if one of them does take off and have, 85, 90 catches, over 1,000 yards, whatever it is, I do think it would be one of these two. Valdez-Scantling will be smaller volume but bigger plays probably. Mecole Hardman will be somewhere in between in all reality. So it's possible, but I think Mahomes to Kelce will be the dynamic duo, and then these other guys will get their opportunities as well. Now, Mint Mobile is sponsoring today's show, and they're an awesome cell phone wireless company because they're trying to save you money. They have plans starting at just $15 per month. Inflation is impacting all of us, and I, for one, am saving money by switching to Mint Mobile. And the best part about it, I was able to keep my same phone and switch, and phone number, by the way, and switch to Mint Mobile like that. It took about 15 minutes. They sent me a digital eSIM card. Didn't have to go wait in a line in a store or anything like that. Didn't have to go get a new phone and pay $600. Same phone, just switch providers, and I've got high-speed data just as much as I did before, if not more. Unlimited talk and text, and that free mobile hotspot has been a nice benefit as well. Was able to take advantage of that on my international trip in Italy. MintMobile.com/chatsports. Head over there today to get unlimited premium wireless with plans starting at just $15 per month. That link is in the comments and in the description of this video. Newton Brown, how confident are you in Clyde's ability to stay healthy this season? Slight scare last week. Yeah, I think that pupless thing for him was more of just like a little maneuvering from the Chiefs. I don't think he's really, there's any injury concern at the moment. But if anything, I'm more worried just because of his history, not because of whatever last week was. He has not shown an ability to play a 16 or 17 game season up to this point. He's kind of been in that 12-13 range. So, yeah, I have some concerns there, but again, I'll just point to the depth on this depth chart. I think you got other good options, and if Clyde goes down, someone's going to be ready to step up. Jordan Francis, should the Chiefs be a number 1 offense in 2022? In the NFL, I wouldn't say I expect them to be the number 1 offense, but they should be top 5. Anytime you got Patrick Mahomes, you should have a top 5 offense, especially when it comes to just scoring points per game. So, yeah, top 5 for sure. Maybe they compete for that top offense, but be a lot of good offenses this year. For the Kingdom, who's the Chiefs sleeper to monitor? We've mentioned him once or twice here, but I'll give you an offensive one and a defensive one. On offense, I'll go Isaiah Pacheco, the 7th-round rookie out of Rutgers. On defense, I'll go linebacker Leo Chenal. I think with the pads coming on here, he's really going to kind of up his game. He's a really physical player. He can rush the passer, cover a little bit. So I think those are a couple of players to monitor at camp and to keep an eye on as guys who could make an impact maybe a little bit earlier than we initially expected. Who is your top Chief sleeper? Who's a player that's going under the radar that you're keeping an eye on? Let us know in the comments, and curious to see why you picked that player, so explain why you did. Royo, how many yards could Kelce get during 2022? If the last 6 years tell us anything, the floor is 1,000 yards. The ceiling is, 1,400. So I expect an 1,200 yard season with, 7 to 10 touchdowns. That's kind of what he's done for 6-7 years now. Mike Marshall, should the Chiefs get another wide receiver? You could. I don't think it's needed. You got 4 guys that you should be comfortable with Juju, Sky Moore, Hardman, and MVS. Josh Gordon's in there competing, Doris Fontaine, a couple other guys. So, yeah, sure you could, but I don't think it's necessary. Josh and Alyssa, why do you think Tyreek keeps taking shots at the Chiefs? I don't know. I mean, we've talked about this a few times. I think Tyreek Hill misses Kansas City. That's my theory. I think he wanted to be here. He has said he wanted to be here. He said he would have taken less to stay with the Chiefs, but that the contract wasn't close enough, so he had no choice but to go to Miami. So I think he misses Kansas City, at least playing for the team. I'm sure he's liking living in Miami better, but that's really all that makes sense to me. So otherwise, I would simply be guessing. All right, appreciate all the questions that we got on today's show. Hit that subscribe button here on the channel if you haven't already. We'll continue to keep you guys in the loop with the latest Chiefs news and rumors coming out of training camp and everything else that happens around this team. We're going to have you covered here on the channel.